Hello, I'm Oskar Shirlev and you're watching the news from Kazakhstan. The breaking of Targab Dam in Almaty region on Thursday partially flooded the major highway Almaty-Bishkek, effectively closing it for traffic. Another highway Almaty-Tashkent is closed in Zhambyl region. According to Emergency Ministry, the flooding was caused by melted and rainwater. In addition, heavy downpours in Zhambyl and Almaty regions flooded a number of local settlements. A possible emergency is developing in the Ili and Zhambyl areas of the Almaty region. The melting of snow can result in the failure of Azak Dam. Around 3,000 people have been evacuated, mostly to their relatives and hospitals of the area. A field headquarters of the Emergency Ministry and a camp for potential disaster victims were set up 2 kilometers away from the possible flood zone. According to the Ili District Administrator Jambulat Turumbetov, the development of situation fully depends on the weather. At the moment there is some light rain in the area. It is cloudy and misty. Due to continuous rainfall, a number of settlements in southern Kazakhstan are also in the danger zone. Roads and houses in Almaty and Zhambyl regions are flooded. Due to the possible failure of the Kurtin Dam, about 6,500 people were evacuated from the surrounding settlements. Moreover, the East Kazakhstan region is also under the threat of flooding, as the level of snow in Zaysan area during this winter exceeds the norm by 7 times. The rapid melting of snow can flood local towns. According to the area administrator, the Uydenin reservoir cannot hold all the arriving water. Besides, the dam doesn't correspond to all necessary technical requirements. The region's authorities are planning to appeal to the government for help. To the other news, the case of Israeli arms shipments ended with a guilty verdict. The Deputy Defense Minister Mayrmanov and Colonel Shenkman were sentenced to 11 years of imprisonment each after a top-secret trial. However, many questions remained unanswered even after the announcement of the verdict.
The sentence of 11 years in a Kazakh prison shocked the relatives of Israeli businessman Boris Shenkman, convicted for fraud and bribery. The same term was given to the former Deputy Defense Minister of Kazakhstan, Kazimurat Mayrmanov, for conducting illegal transactions with Israeli companies, resulting in the state damage of $7 million.
According to Israeli publication newsroot.co.il, Shenkman's family still hopes for the interference of Israeli authorities, despite the failure of all previous attempts to help its citizen who represented the interests of Israeli defense companies.
Even the president of Israel, Shimon Peres, attempted to influence the process last summer. During his visit to Kazakhstan, he discussed the issue with President Nursultan Nazarbayev. It was later revealed that Kazakh authorities improved the detention conditions for the arrested Israeli. But this was the end of Israel's involvement in the trial.
Mr. Shenkman is a Kazakh Israeli citizen, a private citizen. He's not representing not Kazakhstan and not Israel. He's representing a private company.
This is new.
These are very maneuvers which showcased new military equipment last May. General Yurtayev, who guided the tour, later led a commission for the in-house investigation, report Astana sources. Now the general is rather reluctant to comment the situation.
Mr. Yurtayev, what do you have to say about the issue? You can find everything I had to say in my interview to the newspaper Megapolis.
Israeli media sees Russia's interest in the current prosecution. So far, the episode was not disclosed in the course of Mukhtar Dakishev's trial.
The state damage caused by banks and other borrowers is estimated in millions of dollars, stated the representative of the Financial Oversight Agency during the recent Law Enforcement Coordination Council in Astana. The officials discussed the legality and effectiveness of the use of the National Fund's assets. Last year, the government allocated more than $7 billion to support the economy, the designed use of which was controlled by the state authorities. The meeting participants came to a conclusion that there were no serious shadow transactions going on. However, the chair of the Financial Oversight Agency, Yelena Bakhmutova, emphasized the need for the money to be used in the real sector, while Samru Kazana Fund, being the operator of anti-crisis program, should elaborate on additional agreements with Kazakh banks.
They should strictly follow the recommendations of the working group during the allocation of the anti-crisis budget. Also, these assets should not be spent on the offshore companies and coverage of consulting services costs. These are the questions of the effective usage. The money should end up in the real sector.
Apparently, money is not a problem in the case of the ex-head of Kazatomprom Mukhtar Jakishev, at least during the hearing on Thursday. The state is accusing Jakishev in spending the company's assets, but the judges were more interested in the defendant himself, hearing testimonies of 7 new witnesses. They arrived from Almaty 2 days ago. Friends, colleagues and work partners of Mukhtar Jakishev were finally able to give their testimonies in the infamous Kazatomprom case. These are some well-known public figures, including the head of the Kazakh Businessman Forum Raimbek Batalov, former head of media holding Nur Media Armanjan Baytasov, and co-chair of the party Azat Bulatabilov. All questions during the hearing concerned only Mukhtar Jakishev. At the end, the presiding judge has forbidden the witnesses to disclose any information mentioned in the courtroom.
Даже те статьи обвинения, они не носят никакого секретного характера.
It is clear that the charges do not include any secret information, so the room has a very heavy atmosphere. People there are very tense. Also, fake defenders who supposedly have legitimacy are also there.
Защитники, которые якобы имеют легитимность.
In another trial, the plaintiff decided to use shamanism against officials. Karaganda lawyer Yevgeny Tankov held a right to summon the spirit of justice, to make government officials appear in the court and explain why they refused to register his organization, the Order of the Whimsical Absurdocrats.
Karaganda lawyer Yevgeny Tankov held an ancient shamanic ritual to raise the spirit of justice. The wizardry items included a dead wild ram's head, rubber chicken and sage cigarettes.
We will perform a ritual and put out cigarettes using the office of the Justice Department.
They'll arrest us now. Cigarettes were indeed put out using the building of the Justice Department. 2 months ago, the authorities refused to register Yevgeny Tankov's organization, the Order of the Whimsical Absurdocrats. Then the lawyer filed an action, but the defendants never showed up. To somehow summon the justice after all, Tankov decided to use magic. The police and representatives of regional and city councils witnessed the ritual, videotaping the entire event. So, do you like the rite?
We don't know. We're not allowed to comment.
Only the deputy head of the Justice Department agreed to comment the lawyer's escapade, saying that he was watching the ceremony from the window but did not understand the whole idea behind it.
As I understood, he was not able to summon the spirit of justice. I think it is a useless action, a waste of time.
Arman Apiyev promised that a justice official will come to the court, adding that, in his opinion, Yevgeny Tankov's method is far from being legal. The notice of appointment in the form of shamanic ritual is apparently an effective method for the country's officials, as the representative of the department did show up at the district court of Karaganda after the summoning of the spirit of justice.